good crowd this weekend. If any of you have been to either of the shows I've curated before, or if you've been in docents, you know, I tend to cram these galleries full of stuff. Fortunately, Barbara, Carol, and Chris do a great job of making it look good. So there are a lot of things in here, literally stuff for over 200 years. This is a huge topic, and not something that would be easy to do justice, even with 4 or 5 times as much space as we have here. So what I'm going to focus on in the brief walkthrough we're going to take today is really kind of some of our philosophical background in how we devised this show and how it's kind of arranged. In terms of the specifics on the objects, you've got the guides that had, there was something there about just about every object, in some case a lot of information, in some case not a lot, but certainly enough to help you answer questions or encourage the folks to learn about more. You know, with 2 sets of, essentially, I keep referring to these as labels, 2 sets of labels, one geared towards adult. My wife wrote the kids' labels. We have 4 and 6-year-old, and she's homeschooling our daughter, so she's good at talking to small people, so I think she did a pretty good job of presenting some information that would be digestible to them. She will readily admit we didn't pull any punches when talking to kids. There are some tough issues that are dealt with in these galleries, and we didn't want to try and sugarcoat it too much. There's going to be probably a more diverse, at least age-diverse group coming through this show than a lot of shows, and everybody has their own childhood experiences. Every kid is experiencing their own childhood differently, and we want to try and play that up and address that as much as possible with the objects and with the conversations we have. And that's kind of how we set this up. We set this up really as a series of conversations. There are about a dozen or so conversations through the galleries that these objects are having with each other and with our visitors. So we can even just start right here in the entryway. Naturally, one of the biggest things that most kids are going to appreciate in the hallway is a selfie photo. Everybody under the age of 15 is taking selfies by the dozens every day these days, it seems. And so we just wanted to kind of show the pictorial portrayal of childhood over the past 200 years and how it's changed. From early on, when it was just the wealthiest folks who could afford to have portraits painted, through the later 19th century when photography made it a bit more affordable, but still wasn't something that everybody could necessarily afford, to today where virtually everybody has one of those dumb little phones and they can take pictures of themselves anytime, anywhere, and then put it out to the world through social media. I'm not going to get into too many little tidbits about it's in the guide, but it's just one of the most staggering bits of information that we uncovered during this process. The daguerreotype over there, when daguerreotypes were big in the 1840s, there would have been globally several thousand, maybe 20 or 30,000 photographs taken globally. A recent estimate on the number of photographs that will be taken next year, something along the order of 1.5 trillion. So just the recording of day-to-day life, particularly in childhood, is pervasive, far more today than it ever has been, and so it's an important issue, and we'll see more of that as we go ahead. Head on into gallery 1.